Moment the doors gave way. She saw the boys break through the barricades, dragging girls out into the darkness. Her testimony is a chilling, first-hand account of the chaos, giving a voice to the real human cost of what happened. For hours, the girls screamed, they prayed, they begged for help, but none came. They were completely isolated in their terror, a fact that would haunt the survivors for the rest of their lives. Help wouldn't arrive until 6 in the morning when the police finally showed up, and only then did the full scale of the horror become clear. As the nation just reeled in disbelief, the search for accountability began. But the path to justice, well, it would be fraught with its own set of disturbing realities. One of the most jarring images from the aftermath was this shocking contrast. On one hand, you have the accused boys, photographed outside the courthouse, smiling, seemingly without a shred of remorse. On the other hand, their former classmates were in hospital beds, so traumatized that when they woke up from sedation, they'd start screaming and have to be sedated all over again. The contrast is just chilling. And beyond the physical injuries, there was this profound institutional failure. Survivors were just sent off to other schools to finish their exams, but the idea of counseling or psychological support, it wasn't even on the radar. They were left to carry this immense, crushing trauma all alone. So, what happened in court? Well, in the end, prosecutors just couldn't prove a specific motive to kill. The deaths were attributed to suffocation from the stampede and the crush inside the dorm. Because of that, the charges got knocked down from murder to manslaughter, and only 10 of the accused were ultimately jailed. The St. Kizito massacre left an indelible scar on Kenya. It forced a national reckoning with student safety and discipline, and it led to some really significant, tangible changes in the education system. And that systemic change was real. In direct response to this tragedy, new, strict safety regulations for school dorms were enacted. I'm talking about things we might take for granted today, like having multiple emergency exits, no grills on windows, and rules against overcrowding. All of these were put into policy because of the lessons learned from that horrific night. The school itself tried to shed its dark past by changing its name to St. Cyprian. The incident also sparked a much broader debate, which led to a policy proposal to abolish mixed-gender boarding schools altogether. It even led to the creation of a whole separate girls' school, St. Angela's, from the original institution. But here's the thing. While policies and school names can be changed, the personal wounds, they remained. 34 years later, the survivors still carried those invisible scars. And to understand their journey is to really understand the nature of trauma itself. A clinical psychologist named Jacqueline Gadu puts it this way. Trauma isn't just a bad memory. It fundamentally alters a person's sense of safety.